Welcome to Principles of Management. This lecture is going to be looking at Chapter 14, Leadership. The learning outcomes include explain what leadership is, describe who leaders are and what effect leaders do, explain Fielder's contingency theory, explain Hershey and Blanchard's situational leadership theory, outline the steps for how path goal theory works, explain the normative decision theory, and explain how visionary leadership helps leaders achieve strategic leadership. Leadership is the process of influencing others to achieve group or organizational goals. According to the late business professor Warren Bennis, the primary difference between leaders and managers is that leaders are concerned with doing the right thing, while managers are concerned with doing things right. Although leaders are different from managers, organizations need both of them. Managers are critical to getting out the day-to-day work, and leaders are critical to inspiring employees and setting the organization's long-term direction. The key issue for any organization is the extent to which it is properly led and properly managed. Trait theory says the effective leaders possess a similar set of traits or characteristics. Most specifically, leaders are different from non-leaders in the following traits: their drive, desire to lead, honesty, integrity, self-confidence, emotional stability, cognitive ability, and knowledge of the business. Leaders who have these traits must then take action that encourage people to achieve group or organizational goals. Two basic leader behaviors emerge as central to successful leadership. Initiating structure is the degree to which a leader structures the roles of followers by setting goals, giving directions, setting deadlines, and assigning tasks. Consideration is the extent to which a leader is friendly, approachable, and supportive, and shows concerns for employees. No one leader behavior by itself or no one's combination of leadership behavior works well across all situations and all employees. Fiedler's contingency theory states that in order to maximize work group performance, leaders must be matched to the right leadership situation. Fiedler's theory has several basic assumptions. Leaders are effective when the work groups they lead perform well. Leaders are generally unable to change their leadership styles, and they will be more effective when their styles are matched to the proper situation. When Fiedler refers to leadership styles, he means the way the leader generally behaves towards their followers. Fiedler uses questionnaires called the least preferred coworker scale to measure the leadership style. People who describe their LPC in a positive way have relationship-oriented leadership style. By contrast, people who describe their LPC in a negative way have a task-oriented leadership style. Fiedler defines situational favorableness as the degree to which particular situations either permits or denies a leader the chance to influence the behavior of group members. In highly favorable situations, leaders find that their actions influence followers. In highly unfavorable situations, leaders have little to no success influencing the people they are trying to lead. 3 situational factors determine the favorability of a situation: leader-member relations, task structure, position power. The performance of the relationship and task-oriented leaders follow patterns. The key to applying Fiedler's contingency theory in the workplace is to accurately measure and match leaders to situations or to teach the leader how to change situational favorableness by changing leader-member relations, task structure, or the position of power. Through matching or placing leaders in appropriate situations, work particularly well, practicing managers have little luck and re-engineering situations to fit their leadership styles. Most of the leaders simply did not understand what they were supposed to do to change their situation. The theory won't work as well if leaders are attempting to change situational factors to fit their perceived leadership style rather than their real leadership style. Hershey and Blanchard's situational theory states that leaders need to adjust their leadership styles to match followers' readiness. Performance readiness is the ability and willingness to take responsibility for directing one's behavior at work. Readiness is composed of two components. Job readiness consists of the amount of knowledge, skills, and ability and experience people have to perform their job. Psychological readiness is the feeling of self-confidence or self-respect. Job readiness and psychological readiness are combined to produce 4 different levels of readiness in Hershey and Blanchard's situational leadership theory. Situational theory defines leadership styles in terms of task behavior and relationship behavior. 4 leadership styles are identified: telling, one-way communication in which followers are told what, how, when, and where to do particular tasks. Selling, which is two-way communication and psychological support to encourage followers to own or buy into particular ways of doing things. Participating is two-way communication and shared decision-making. And delegating is leaders basically tell workers to run their own show and make their own decisions. Path goal theory states that leaders can increase subordinate satisfaction and performance by clarifying and cleaning the paths to goals and increasing the number and kinds of rewards available for goal attainment. Leaders must meet 2 conditions for path clarification, path clearing, and rewards to increase followers' motivation and effort. Leaders' behavior must be a source of immediate or future satisfaction for followers. While providing the coaching and guidance support, the rewards necessary for effective work performance, leaders' behavior must complement and not duplicate the characteristics of the followers' work environment. Path goal theory assumes that leaders can change and adapt their leadership styles. The path goal theory has 4 leadership styles: directive, supportive, participative, and achievement-oriented. Directive involves letting employees know precisely what is expected of them, giving them specific guidelines for performing tasks, scheduling work, setting standards of performance, and making sure people follow standard rules and regulations. Supportive involves being approachable and friendly to employees, showing concern for them and their welfare, treating them as equals, and creating friendly climate. Participative involves consulting employees for their suggestions and input before making decisions. Achievement-oriented involves setting challenging goals, having high expectations of employees, and displaying confidence that employees will assume responsibility and put forth extraordinary efforts. Path goals theory specifies that leader behavior should be adapted to subordinate characteristics. The theory identifies 3 kinds of subordinate contingencies: perceived ability, experience, and locus of control. There are 3 kinds of environmental contingencies: task structure, the formal authority system, and the primary work group. Following the path goal theory's ideas of adapting one's leadership style to the situation's work, leaders can improve subordinate satisfaction and performance by adding participative and achievement-oriented leadership styles to their capabilities as leaders. The normative decision theory helps leaders decide how much employee participation should be used when making decisions. The normative decision theory specifies 5 different decision styles or ways of making decisions. The styles vary from autocratic decision, in which leaders make decisions by themselves, to consultative decisions, in which leaders share problems with subordinates but still make the decisions themselves, and group decisions, in which leaders share the problems with subordinates and then have the group make the decision. According to the normative decision theory, using right degree of employee participation improves the quality of decisions and the extent to which employees accept and are committed to decisions. The quality of leader information, subordinate information, goal congruence, and problem structure rules are used to increase decision quality. The commitment, probability, and subordinate conflict and commitment requirement rules are used to increase employees' acceptance and commitment to decisions. These decision rules help leaders improve decision quality and follower acceptance, and commitment by eliminating decision styles that don't fit particular decisions or situations they're facing. Normative decision theory, like path goal theory, is situational in nature. The abstract decision rules are framed as yes or no questions, which makes the process of applying these rules more concrete. Quality rule is the quality of the decision is important, but then don't use autocratic decision styles. Leadership information rule is the quality of the decision is important, and if the leader doesn't have enough information to make the decision on his or her own, then they don't use autocratic decision styles. Subordinate information rule is the quality of the decision is important, and if the subordinates don't have enough information to make the decision themselves, they don't use group decision styles. Goal concurrence rule is the quality of the decision is important and the subordinates' goals are different from the organization goals. Then they don't use group decision style. Problem structure rule is the quality of the decision is important. The leader doesn't have enough information to make the decision on his or her own, and the problem is unstructured. Then don't use autocratic decision style. The commitment probability rule is having subordinates accept and commit to the decision is important, then don't use autocratic decision style. Subordinate conflict rule is having subordinates accept the decision is important and critical to the success, implementation, and the subordinates are likely to disagree or end up in conflict over the decision, then don't use the autocratic or consultative decision style. Commitment requirement rule is having subordinates accept the decision is absolutely required for successful implementation, and subordinates share the organization's goals that don't use autocratic or consultative styles. Visionary leaderships create a positive image for the future that motivates organizational members and provides direction for future planning and goal setting. Charismatic leaders have strong, confident, dynamic personalities that attract followers and enable leaders to create a strong bond with their followers. Followers trust charismatic leaders, are loyal to them, and are inspired to work towards the accomplishments of the leader's vision. In general, the followers of charismatic leaders are more committed and satisfied, are better performers, and are more likely to trust their leaders and simply work harder. Ethical charismatic provides developmental opportunities for followers and are open to positive and negative feedback, recognize other contributions, shared information, and have moral standards that emphasize the larger interests of the group's organization or society as a whole. Unethical charismatic control and manipulate followers, do what is best for themselves instead of the organization, and want to hear only positive feedback. They share information only beneficial to themselves and have moral standards that put their interests before everyone else's. Transformational leaders goes further by generating awareness and acceptance of group's purpose and mission, and by getting employees to see beyond their own needs and self-interest for the good of the group. Transformational leadership has 4 components. Charismatic leadership are idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. While transformational leaders use visionary and inspirational appeals to influence followers, transactional leadership is based on exchange process in which followers are rewarded for good performance and punished for poor performance. Once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this lecture. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions.